start right now. I'd like to inform you that the meeting is being recorded and you'll get it from your e-learning portal. We'll just embed it after this, and if there's anything you need to confirm, you'll confirm from there. So there were notes that I sent yesterday on the e-learning platform that basically summarizes what we go on. So I'll just go through the notes very fast, and then we're going to go through the e-learning portal, and then we're going to be done after that. Maybe a Q&A session, and then we finish. So let me just go to my portal and present it. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, very well. I hope you can all see my screen. And if you have issues with anything, let me know in the chat box. I will keep checking. Yes, I can see my colleague Eric is now here, and we can proceed nicely. Okay, so let me just log into my portal. So when you get to the e-learning portal, this is what you see. Like when you just click the homepage, this is what you'll see. You just load the homepage like that. You can see all the courses there and everything else. Any link that is of help to you will be on the footer. So let me go direct and log in to my account as a student. So you just come there, log in, and something a pop-up box will show up. So let me just put my details. So your email address is your username. And yesterday and today, we'll be solving issues with login. So make sure you text us on WhatsApp and then we can resolve it. In case you didn't receive any email, let us know so that we can troubleshoot that. So my computer is a bit, don't know why it's not showing this as full, but let me show you how it should appear. Anyway, this is how it should appear. This is how it should appear. Okay. Very well. I can see more people are joining. So before we proceed, I just wanted to have this landing page as a share page. Then I can proceed and introduce myself, and Eric can do an introduction, and then we can proceed into the system. Let's just go fast to the notes, and then start from there. So the orientation session should be under your enrolled courses, should be something like this. And then you can click start course. Okay, and then you should have something like this on your screen. So maybe you can decide to have this sidebar here, or you can decide to not have it, which is okay. Or you can switch to dark mode if you want, or if you don't want, you can post questions here. All your lessons will look something like this. So your notes will be something like this, and then your Zoom video will be something like that, something like this one here. So the system is simple to use and it learn as we proceed. So my name is Eric Kiplangat and I will be your facilitator for both data science and data analytics. And we have Eric who will be an instructor for both the courses. And you'll notice that in your emails we said that data science and data analytics will be combined for the first module, which is Python programming, which is essential for both courses. Then after that, the people for data science are going to specialize with artificial intelligence, machine learning, and then data analytics people will dive deep into data analysis tools and any libraries involved. But that doesn't mean that data science people not do a bit of data analytics. They still do it. So I think Eric will expound on that later. So Maybe I can have Eric introduce himself and then we can proceed. Eric?
Yes, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us at Marshall. As you've heard, my name is Eric Otieno. I will be your instructor for both data science and data analytics courses. And I will be giving some clarification on uh, prerequisite courses that we should do for us to start either if you want to do data analytics or data science. Then there is a prerequisite course called Python for data science. So primarily for this program, we are going to use Python programming language to in our data science and data analytics classes. So I'll be clarifying more during my session. So I think Eric, you can proceed.
Okay, very well. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Once again, I
Okay.
repeat what Eric has said. Welcome to our school, and we are hoping that you're going to leave here with better equipped with skills to conquer the world. So basically, you're going to learn about us as we proceed. I'd not like to waste a lot talking about ourselves. I'd like us to just do it practically. So myself, I have a lot of titles. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a data scientist. I also develop software, as well as incoming or aspiring AI for mathematics instructor. So maybe April will be having mathematics as a course, and maybe I'll be handling it. So I'm working towards that. I hope to see some of you in that course. So let me proceed and talk about a few things like the method of teaching. So we are going to use a hybrid method of teaching where we are going to use uh, physical classes only for recap classes. So during the week, you're going to use your e-learning portal to access the notes, access live classes, and if you don't get to attend the live classes, you can get the class recordings in your e-learning portal. So the e-learning portal is your main resource here. So you'll be following up everything there, including quizzes, including assignments, including projects, everything. You'll be getting them on your e-learning accounts. So I'll go through the e-learning portal after we finish the notes, and then we can have a look at it. Then Eric will talk about the curriculum, then we can finish. So all our classes will be mainly in Zoom, so that you can have a good live stream of the classes and have the recordings afterwards as well. So physical classes will be at our boardroom at KMA Center on Saturdays, recap classes. So maybe we'll have one Saturday with recap physical, and then we can skip that. We skip the next Saturday and have it for okay, for physical people. We'll have like one Saturday, skip one Saturday, and then the next one you have another physical recap. But now the Saturday that has been skipped there is for online people, for those who are outside Kenya or outside Nairobi, or even those who are in Nairobi but can't make it. So we want to make sure that you guys get quality education so that at the end of it all, you are useful to the community using your skills so that you don't spend the 4 months here just studying something that will not help. Okay. So basically everything will be on the e-learning portal, trading, tracking progress, etc. So, as had mentioned, the first module will be Python for data science, which is a combined unit for both data science and data analytics. The classes will be from Monday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And for people, for the evening group, we'll have the classes from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday. So Friday is normally our day for outreach, where we go for workshops, we go for events, seminars, conferences, etc. And our instructor will also be available from 2:30 p.m. Monday to Wednesday for one-on-one consultation. We are also working on an AI tool to help you with the consultations because of the huge number of students that we have. We will send you the appointment link for booking appointments with the instructor later in your WhatsApp group. So what happens? Okay, before that, February timetable will be communicated before end of January because we're expecting to have the Python class done by end of January. So that's from February, you can start specializing in either data analytics or data science. So what happens when you miss a class? Okay, don't worry about that. Sometimes you get busy, sometimes you're not feeling well, sometimes just something happens. So we understand that, and that's why you will have recordings of your classes on the e-learning portal so that you can have a reference point, or so that later you can come and do your practical lesson. Because for practicals, you actually have to go through the video, do everything one by one, and at the end of that, will be evaluated either using a quiz or an assignment, and you have to pass it so that you go to the next lesson. So make sure you are attentive in all the classes or the recordings. Make sure you do everything that is recommended there 100% because 100% is the minimum mark that is required for you to proceed to the next lesson, okay, or the next item. So all the recordings will be available 2 to 3 hours after the class. You'll find it embedded either in YouTube or Vimeo, and then you can just click the link right in your e-learning portal. You don't have to get out of the e-learning portal in order to get the class recordings. You can access them right there in your e-learning portal. Okay, so our instructor, okay, that the appointment booking form will provide. So what happens when you miss many classes? Missing one class, two class, three classes is okay, but missing 10 consecutive days results to automatic dismissal from the program unless a valid reason is provided, such as being sick or if you are abducted or natural disaster. So those are some of the reasons that are marked as valid in this case. So for feedback and suggestions, we have a lot of channels for feedback, including something like this here in your e-learning portal where you can comment directly about a lesson. Maybe if an instructor is going too fast, anything that you feel is not okay with you or is okay with you, you can always shoot it up to us via the comment section, via WhatsApp, via call, via email. All the channels are acceptable and it will reach us. So I think I'm done there with my notes. Maybe what we're going to do before I do the presentation of the system, maybe Eric can do something about the courses, tell you more about the courses, and then I'll proceed from there and we'll go through the portal. And then after that, you can do a Q&A. So if you have any questions, just write them down, preserve them for the Q&A session afterwards. And then I hope that we're going to leave this orientation session satisfied. Thank you. Eric, the floor is yours.
Yes, so thank you so much, Eric. I want to, maybe you can confirm whether my audio is clear on your end.
Yes, it's okay.
Yes, so can you hear me? Yes, confirm.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so thank you. As you've heard, I think I'll now introduce myself again. As you heard, my name is Eric Otieno. I'm a software engineer. I'm also a data scientist, but primarily I focus on instructing several courses ranging from artificial intelligence, data science, data analytics, software development, and so on. So I want to welcome you to this program. I'm sharing my screen. I hope you're going to see it. Yeah, so can you see my screen? Yes, so I'm sharing my screen here. Where now I want to introduce you officially to this program. So I believe that we have combined We have actually have combined students for both data science and data analytics. So today, my primary focus was to answer this question: why take this course now? What is the reason that you should take data science or data analytics program? So I wanted us to go to your e-learning portal. Let's go to your e-learning portal. If you have completed your orientation here, then now you are allowed to open Python for data science and data analytics here. So if you open up this one here, then I assume, sorry, I think I closed it. Let me open it again. Yeah, so let me just open it again. Python for data science and data analytics. So in your e-learning portal, you're going to find some materials that will guide you on some of the. Let's start the course. Let's start the course here. Some of the reason why you should take data science and data analytics. So I will start with this first part here, where we'll be adding more clarification. In case you have a question, you can always pass it to the comment section, and then we are going to answer it there. So the first question is, who is this course for? Why should you take this course? Who are the people that we are targeting for this course? So to answer this question, we are actually targeting those people who are ready to understand first the basics of Python programming language, including Python programming language. You're going to know that it is the most popular programming language that it is used to build data science and data analytics projects, including even artificial intelligence projects. So it's one of the most popular languages that we are going to learn in this program. So we're going to talk about aspects like defining functions. Yeah, so let's say you want to build a function to clean your data set, or you want to build a function to read a data set in different formats, let's say from databases, from your Excel files, and so on and so forth. So we have defining function. We'll be talking about assigning variables. So what are variables? We'll be talking about what are methods, what are objects. So this means that we're going to talk about object-oriented programming. At some point, we'll be talking about the controlling the flow of a program. So this will be talking about aspects like conditional statements and looping statements, which will be helpful for both decision making and iteration in our programming classes, and all the other basic tasks in Python programming. So if you are ready to understand the basics of Python programming, then I think this is the right course for you. Again, this course is for those students who want now to use the Python that we're going to learn as a tool for data intensive and computational science. That is, now we want to use now this Python in areas like statistics, because statistics is a very crucial component in data analytics and also data science. We are going to talk about linear algebra. I think we have aspect like vectors and matrices, and also we're going to use Python for our data visualization classes. Let's say you want to draw some histograms, some scatter plots, violin plots. So that is where we are going to use the Python programming. And also now, finally, for this course is also meant to help Python users learn to use Python data science libraries. So this will be very, very important. A good example of this library is IPython. I think IPython stands for Interactive Python. Let's say you want to use Python to display an image. Later, we'll be talking about NumPy, because NumPy is the most fundamental library that is used for numerical computation. So let's say you want to work with matrices, you want to work with vectors. I think that will be the most crucial library that we're going to talk about here. And then we also have pandas. Pandas is the most crucial library for data analysis. So let's say you have a data set in your Excel file, or you have a data set in your database, and you want to start doing some analysis, then I think pandas will be the most crucial library there. We'll be talking about matplotlib for doing data visualization. We'll be talking about scikit-learn for doing machine learning, and later we are going to use keras and tensorflow for deep learning, and also pytorch for building some artificial neural network projects. So all these are the main reason why Python is the prerequisite course for both data science and data analytics. Now, moving to the next slide, we prepared this one just to show you what is now trending in the market. What are people saying? What are the numbers? Yeah, so before taking up this course, we thought that this is something that might interest you to know right in the market. One thing you're going to notice is that data science was named by LinkedIn as the fastest growing job. Yeah. And also, if you've heard about Glassdoor, it ranked data scientists as the most, as one of the best jobs in the world because of its flexibilities and salary expectation. One thing you're going to notice is that data science job, most of them are done remote. They are mostly remote jobs, so you can do it anywhere you want in the world. That's why they have the most flexible jobs, and they have very huge salary expectation. So if you are maybe thinking about growing your career, or maybe shifting to a very good flexible career, then I think this is something that you need to expect to have. Another thing that you also need to know is that according to LinkedIn, I'm sure you know LinkedIn is the one of the biggest job platforms. We were told that since 2012, we have actually experienced 650% job growth. Okay. And we are also estimating to have 11.5 million jobs by 2026. So we are talking about remote jobs from all over the world. So this source was from the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics. And also, according to Glassdoor, the average salary, so most of the data science, their salaries range from $120,000 a year. That is according to Glassdoor. So this is something you might want to take up, especially here in Africa, which our main goal as Marshall, and that's why we're even offering these courses for free. We want to actually reduce the burden of unemployment, especially for the youth. So if maybe you have been experiencing unemployment, or maybe you want a very flexible job for you, then I think this should be the right course for you to take. Now, businesses are continuing to wrap up big efforts in such a way that they want to make sense of their newly digitized model and digital revenue opportunities. So what we are talking about here is that uh, we are actually in a digital economy currently, and that means that most of the businesses that we have are going to the digital space. And because we have digital space, they are actually producing a lot of data that later we are going to call it big data. So now these businesses have big data. A lot of businesses have data. Now, they don't know what to use the data. So they're actually in an effort to understand what this data can do for them, because they can use the data to know the new customer they have from their referrals, or they can use the data they have to understand where their new customers are coming from, how much are they paying for their customers in terms of expenses, and so on and so forth. So mainly, data science is growing very fast because businesses want to make sense of their big data that they have from their digitized model. So these are the systems they have in place. Yeah. So talking about small and medium-sized businesses are also starting to turn their attention to the potential of data analytics to make well-informed, data-driven decisions for their customers. For instance, this SMEs wants to get their target markets. They want to know the demand and supply curves using the data they have. So the important point here is that the businesses want to make well informed, data driven decisions. So there is a course we have in this portal called Internet of Things. If you've not heard about it, it's actually a technology whereby people are focusing on building smart devices. For example, I think in our homes, almost like let's say 40% have smart TVs. So smart TVs are this television you can connect to the internet. We have smartphones, we have smart sound system, we have smart fridges, we have smart irrigation system. So it's like all the appliances we have in our homes are being connected to the internet using the technology called Internet of Things. Now, one very interesting thing is that these Internet of Things devices that we call them IoT are generating large data volumes. So all these developments at some point will require data science capability to make sense of this data that is being produced uh, every now and then. So, and this is actually what people are talking about in the market. So I feel like this is the right course for you because now data is readily available. Businesses are actually businesses wants to embrace their digitized models, and the SMEs wants to make sense of their data so that they can make well informed decisions. So I think you can go through that one. Okay. So do we have job opportunities in data sciences? Because we've actually mentioned that it is one of the most growing job according to LinkedIn. So what are the job opportunities we have as a data scientist? I think that is the third slide we have here. So you can open it up here. So data science job opportunities. So I just wanted to give you some statistics of the job market for data scientists and data analysts. So according to the job market, the demand for data scientists and data analysts is projected to remain robust, especially from now 2025, because this is actually driven by the increasing importance of data-driven decision across different industries. So one thing I want you to know is that this industry we are talking about range from educational institution to healthcare institution to our government to the military to businesses. They want to make data-driven decision making. And now the demand for data scientists and data analysts is actually projected to remain very high. So uh, I want to now, because we have two different categories here. We have those for data scientists, and we also have for those for data analysts. So starting with data scientists, according this is something I had mentioned, there is actually employment growth, and this is something we can embrace. According to this body from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, we are actually being told that 35% growth in employment for data scientists from the year 2022 all the way to 2032. So, averaging, we are actually estimating to have 17,700 new job opportunities every new year. So, if we have those people are experiencing unemployment, I think this is something you can take as a data scientist. Salaries, mid-level data scientists can expect average salaries between 110,000 to 120,000 in that range. This is actually based on the remote jobs that we have actually looked into, including touring, TopTal, and so on. For data analysts, the job is expected to grow as organizations rely on data interpretation to guide their businesses. So at some point later, we will actually distinguish between the roles of a data scientist and the role of a data analyst. But something I can mention is that data scientists, they mainly focus on building machine learning models to project the future for businesses. So these are the data scientists. They use data to build machine learning models that can actually foresee the future. And this is something most businesses want. On the other hand, data analysts focus on doing the current analysis. They are mainly focused on interpreting the current business data. Okay, so their salary expectation as of December 2021, according to the same body, was around 69,000, depending on factors like your experience, your location, and the industry that you're working into. There are some emerging trends, and these are trends we saw, I think, last year. There have been some AI integration, whereby the integration of artificial intelligence into business operation is creating new roles and increasing the demand for professionals in AI and data scientists. Therefore, employers across tech and non-tech sectors are seeking expertise like machine learning, NLP, and predictive modeling. So what I can mention here is that most businesses are integrating artificial intelligence to their operations. Therefore, uh, expertise for machine learning, natural language processing, and predictive modeling will actually remain very high. So we have evolving skill set in such a way that this data science field is actually evolving with emerging careers such as now we are even having people called data architects. We also have the people who are called data mining engineers. We have those people who are called business intelligence analysts, and that they are actually becoming very prominent. So this one requires a combination of technical skills and ability to apply data insight strategically within an organization. So therefore, in summary, the job market for these data scientists and analysts in 2025 is expected to be strong with competitive salaries and expanding opportunities, particularly for those who adapt to emerging technologies and evolving trends. Okay, so from there, I think I can now mention what are the roles of now data scientists and data analysts. So let's see the roles, because now if you take up this course, what you'll be doing in your day-to-day business. So here, I hope we are still together. I hope we are still together. Yeah, so in case you have a question, I'm also looking at the chat in case you have a question. Okay. Yeah, so what does a data scientist do? So this is your role actually. A data scientist works with data by actually first fetching it from the source using some ETL tools. So ETL stands for extraction, transformation, and loading tools. Then after loading the data from the source, a data scientist will go ahead and pre-process it, then analyze it in order to derive valuable business insight from it. So this insight then will be used to influence the strategic decision within a business. So the role is very simple. You'll have to fetch data, pre-process it, analyze it so that now you can get some insights. So these insights that you are getting are now being used to make strategic decisions. So to expand more, we're actually saying now that by extrapolating and sharing these insights here, data scientists are now helping organizations such as the United Nations to solve complex problems. And they're actually combining different disciplinaries, such as computer science. So, computer science, we have fields like computer programming, linear algebra, numerical computation, and the rest. There's a field for modeling, there's also another field for statistics, analytics, and math skill. and along with some sound business sense. Therefore, using all these fields, data scientists uncover and answer major questions that help organizations make key decisions. So what I'm talking about here is that for you to be a very good data scientist, there are some several disciplinaries that you have to be very good into. So you have to be very good in computer science, mainly programming, statistical research, whereby you can collect, analyze data. Data processing is where you can clean data. Mathematics, operation like probability, machine learning, and also mainly some domain expertise. So this is something I want to mention here, where they're actually saying sound business sense. So you need to have a domain expertise. Let's say you are a psychologist, or you are a doctor, or you are a financial analyst. You can actually combine all these other aspects, read data from different sources, analyze it, and generate insight that can help organization make some key decisions. So therefore, businesses use data scientists to source, to manage, to analyze large volume of data, and then the results that you get, the insights, are now communicated to the key stakeholders to drive strategic decision within several organizations. So now these are the several roles we have. You can take up one. So I'll start with data scientist. I'll start with data scientist here. I'll start with data scientist. So data scientists, their main work is to design data modeling process using some scientific algorithms and predictive models, and then perform some custom analysis. So let me just make it clear. You as a data scientist, your main role is to build some predictive models. So predictive models are the models that can foresee the future trends. People's aspect like time series analysis. So you want businesses to see the future. Let's say in the next 1 year, how will the business be doing? So that is what we are calling predictive model. It's for this patient, if you apply this kind of diagnosis, how will this patient do in the next 24 hours in hospitals? So that is the main role of data scientists. For data analysts, their main work is to manipulate large data sets and then use them to identify some trends, something we call some patterns that can reach meaningful conclusion to inform strategic business decision. So your role as a data analyst is to read data sets, identify some patterns, some trends, or also some insights that can be having meaningful conclusion and informing strategic business decisions. Now, these are the main two roles: data scientist and data analyst. That is the main two roles. Now, these roles can be even subdivided, where we have people like data engineers. So data engineers are people who are mainly involved in getting data using the ETL tools, cleaning the data, aggregating it, and organizing data, and then transferring it to data warehouses for analysis and business intelligence process. So a data engineer is mainly focused on getting data, ensuring that the data is on the right format, and then storing the data in a data warehouse for further analysis. So you just read data, clean it, and store it somewhere for people to do analysis. Then we also have people who are called the business intelligence specialists. These are people who are mainly focused on data visualization. They work with data visualization tools. The main ones we have is Tableau and Power BI to create beautiful dashboards and presentation to identify trends within dataset and make sense to business stakeholders who are mainly non-technical individuals. So this is one of the roles of data analyst. So as a data analyst, you can specialize to be a business intelligence specialist, where your main work will be to draw some dashboards that have presentation to identify trends within data. And then after designing these dashboards, you need to have presentation skills, whereby now you're presenting your analysis to stakeholders. And most of the stakeholders we have in the market are people with non-technical skills. So you need a knowledge on how to communicate your insight. These are new roles that has also been introduced. We have data architects. Data architects are people who design, create, and manage organization data architectures. Like we've been told here that we have data engineers who have cleaned the data, aggregated it very well, organized this in a very good format, and now they have transferred this data to a data warehouse. Now from here, we need a data architect who can now ensure that the data that is stored in a warehouse is designed properly, it is also managed properly within the data warehouse using the organization data architecture, so that now those people who are doing analysis can now fetch it more easily and effectively. So for all these roles that we mentioned here, what are the skills? What are the skills you need? So the first skill that we are going to talk about is statistical analysis skills, because you heard that both of them, you identify patterns in data. So this is actually the skill whereby it include having a keen sense of pattern detection and anomaly detection. So normally in this class, we're going to talk about descriptive statistical techniques like the mean, the mode, the median, standard deviation, percentiles, and so on and so forth. So that is one area in statistics called descriptive. I think most people are very familiar with that one. And also we have another branch of statistics that we call inferential statistics, whereby it focuses on hypothesis testing, sampling, analysis of variants, and so on and so forth. So to distinguish between descriptive and inferential, I can say that descriptive identifies facts within the data, like the mean, the median, the mode, the facts, the count. On the other hand, the inferential statistic focuses on deriving hypotheses. So an hypothesis is a question you want to answer. Like here in Kenya, recently, the Ministry of Education released the KCSE result. So we can have something like a hypothesis to say that uh, girls performed well in biology. So that is a question that we have to verify. So for us to verify that question, we have to do something like hypothesis testing. So we're going to do that one here. Another skill you need is machine learning. Another skill you need is machine learning, because with machine learning, you can implement algorithms and statistical model that will enable computer to automatically learn from data and draw insights. Okay. So we'll explore the main two types of machine learning, where we have the supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning techniques later. So the main work is to allow computer to learn from data. Another area that we'll be exploring is computer sciences. We'll not explore more. We'll be talking about artificial intelligence. Later, if you want to read data from databases, you need to talk about database systems, aspect like SQL. At some point, you're going to talk about human computer interaction. This is mainly programming in such a way that you, as a human being, you are able to interact with a computer in a more efficient manner using a programming language. that is what we call HCI. And also we are going to talk about numerical computation, whereby you can perform mathematical operations using a computer. So there are libraries that I mentioned, like NumPy, which can help us use mathematical models like vectors, matrices, and so on and so forth. And this is not requirement. This is not required, but if you are a software engineer, then you can even build systems that are running machine learning and artificial intelligence models. So that is also one area that you need to understand, but it's not that compulsory. Another skill you need, which is now for everyone, we cannot exclude this one. We need programming skills. And that's why we are starting with Python. So with programming, you'll be able to write computer programs. And for data science and data analytics, the main languages we have is Python, we have R, and we also have Julia. So out of these three, Python is the most popular one. If you look at the models in the market, most close to 80% are built using Python programming. Therefore, you're going to focus more on Python to use it to analyze large data set and uncover uh, insights to complex problems. So that is what we're going to start in our next class, where we'll be mainly focusing on you understanding how to write a program. It's not that hard. I think I've done it for severally. I think it's the easiest thing you can do, so long as now you follow it chronological, step by step. Then finally, as a data scientist or a data analyst, this is very important. You need to have data storytelling skills. So this is just a skill that will allow you to communicate insights to non-technical individuals. For example, managers, directors, CEOs. These people are people who don't have technical skills, but they want to understand your insight. So we'll be talking about data storytelling as a way to effectively communicate insight to non-technical audiences that we have. So up to there, I think we've gone through a lot. I had some concepts that I wanted to mention. Only two. Then I think I finalize. So the first concept is, why do we need Python? Why do we need Python? So why do we use Python? What is the main reason for us to learn Python? Why is it that interesting for us to start with Python? So I've just compiled it in two formats. The first one is that Python has emerged as a first-class tool for scientific computing. So if you want to do analysis and visualization of large data set, then Python should be the right language for you at this current uh, age. So it is true to mention that initially Python was not meant for data science or data analytics. Okay, it was not meant for that one, but Python usefulness in data science came primarily from the large ecosystem of its libraries. So as we'll be learning about Python programming, we'll be talking about libraries. So Python has large number of libraries for data science and data analytics task. And these libraries that we are mentioning, they have listed them here. Can you see? They are here. The first major library is NumPy. NumPy specifically focuses on numerical computations. Yeah, it will help you work with large amount of data. Another library we have is Pandas. So Pandas is a library that was built using Python for data analysis. So let's say you have data in your Excel file, you have data in your CSV file, you are getting data from your database, and you want to start doing some analysis, then Python is the library that is recommended, especially if you have a data set that is represented as a table. That is, we have some rows and some columns. So we have SciPy for scientific computing. We have Matplotlib for data visualization. We have scikit-learn for implementing machine learning, where we have supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. We have Keras, we have PyTorch, and so on and so forth. So I know right now they might not make that sense to you, but I'm sure after understanding Python programming, we are going to understand why all these libraries I'm mentioning here are very, very crucial in your data science class. I've shared with you a document here as I'm finalizing. I've shared with you a document here that has summarized everything that I was talking about from the start. So if you have time, you can download this document and now go through it. It's just a cheat sheet. It's just a summary to explain what I was talking about here. So I think we'll be mentioning here this one here later, natural language processing and the rest. So I think up to there, I'm done, Eric. In our next lesson, which I've not added yet, I wanted us first to start introductory classes. You understand some of the concepts. So in our next class, we are now hoping to start on Python programming for data science and data analytics. So I think I'll stop there. Eric, you can take over now.
Okay, very well. Thank you so much, Eric, for the insightful session. I hope that you can all hear me loud and clear. There was an issue with breaking the last time I was talking, so I hope you're okay. I hope you are
Yes,
okay now.
yes, we
Okay,
can
very
hear
well.
you. Okay.
Okay, Eric, there's someone who has asked a question on the message box. So maybe you'll answer that one on the Q&A session. Okay, so for the people who have questions, in the meantime, you can write in the message box, but we'll still have an opportunity for you to ask questions via audio. So I'll just go through the portal and then we're going to get into the Q&A. And since time is not on our side, we can just do it very fast. Then, okay, very well. I hope my screen is clear. Sawa sawa. So basically,
Yes, you can see your screen now.
yes, as I had said, when you go to the website, this is what you see, the main page. But once you're logged in, this is what you should see with your name there and a hey as a prefix. But I think my computer screen has a bit of an issue, but that's why it's not displaying the whole name. But no need to worry, you can just click on the drop down there and you can see all the options you have. So after you're done, you're going to get your certificate at the end of it. You're just going to auto-generate after you're evaluated. So you can check your enrolled courses here. You have a messages option where you can, we are going to create assigned announcements from, and then you're going to receive them on your message section here. Then your assignments, you can find them here, as well as the quizzes, the points for using the system, the wish list, and much more.
Hello.
So the most important section here is the enrolled courses. So I'm just going to click on it. Let's go to the enrolled courses. Before I proceed, I'm going to mention that whoever has an issue with the email address, logging in, or anything, just shoot us an DM via WhatsApp, and we are going to answer promptly. We want to make sure that everyone today closes without any issues with the system. So for the enrolled course right now, it's the orientation session. So this one is a prerequisite that you need to have before proceeding to Python for data science or data analytics, because you have to go in a step-by-step way. So as we had started, you needed to start the course, go through the notes. You have to scroll until you are at the bottom and then complete, and then you go to next. That is how your lessons are going to be. You have to scroll until the last page. And if you're prompted to do a quiz, you have to finish the quiz, pass it with 100%, and then proceed to the next lesson. So I can just say that I have completed the session as well. So this is what I have written. I just scroll that one, and then I go back, just close, go back there. So the next lesson that you need to have is Python for data science, data analytics. We're going to go to the search box here. Python, just search. Python for data science and data analytics. You cannot do data analytics or data science without finishing this one. It's part of the step. So I can go ahead and start the course. I just clicked on the course there. So I have started the course, and then you can see every content here. So the next thing you're going to do after this orientation session is you're going to go through this section, make sure you read everything, internalize, complete next, do all the exercises that are there. It's just that simple. And in case you have any suggestion, post it on the comments section. So that is basically how the system works. And I think it's pretty straightforward. I don't think you're going to find any issues while using it. And as you can see, after I started the Python for data science course, I can see the progress here. I can see the button for continuing. And there are also other options like messages, the messages that have been sent by the school. You can see them here. Your assignments as well, your enrolled quizzes, and my points. So basically, my points is the points you have earned when using the system. So we are going to reward the person who will get the most high points for utilizing the system in the right way by completing your lessons on time, and many other activities that comprises of the criteria that we look at. So that is basically it. And maybe there's something about the settings, so you can change a few things about your account. There you go. You can just change. The only option you have is changing your name and last name, resetting password, asking a question, and submitting a request to be an instructor. So we are open into accepting other people to be our instructors. If you feel that you can be an instructor in other lessons, we can actually create lessons for you as long as they are in tech. You can come and become an instructor. And in case you know someone outside there, you can come and start uploading their courses here. So apart from the usage of the system. So maybe something important that I should mention is that we are not only going to be doing tech stuff, we are going to be also doing some studies, maybe something about legal issues. Maybe when you decide to start a startup after gaining a skill, there are some essential skills that you need to have, like maybe IP issues, which are trademark, copyright, and patents. We'll have a training on that, a webinar. There's an entrepreneurship training as well, and other training sessions that we are going to list. So it's not just tech. We want you to graduate as an all-rounded individual with the right skills to be successful outside there. So, and without further ado, let's go to the next session, which is question and answers. So anyone who feels that they have something they need clarification on, maybe you have a compliment or anything else that you need to say, let us get it on